Take a guy who's 30 who's never had an optimal androgenic surge in his body before. This is new territory. This is essentially puberty, but now you're an adult with responsibilities who can drive and so on and so forth. And it's happening hard and it's happening fast. It's one of the reasons I started a support group for my clients, because this first, I would say all the way to 6 months, but yeah, particularly the first maybe 2 to 3 months, it is a rocky road. There is a lot changing. The first thing I try to do with them is go frame the sensations that you're experiencing as positive. Where you were at before wasn't working, and now you're feeling change take place. So just try to frame everything that you feel as a positive. I mean, unless of course you get fucking gyno, but you know, if you're like, I can't sleep, like I'm feeling overstimulated, like, you know, guys will sometimes say, and they'll go, I can't control my temper anymore. And I'm like, you didn't have a temper. Like, you weren't controlling a temper, you were placid. This is, now you have a temper, now you need to learn to regulate it, which is why I think martial arts is important, because you learn that you don't know shit about fighting. That's a very important thing to learn when you first get a temper. So that first period is very tricky. Typically what will happen, because testosterone, it's not a stimulant, but it does activate the central nervous system. So a lot of the time guys will feel overstimulated, and if you've got an anxious mind, that overstimulation can be perceived and felt as anxiety. This can be challenging, and I often tell guys, you know, during this period, particularly the first couple of weeks, which there can be a bit of a honeymoon, I go, look, use it. Go for a walk, do more physical activity. You know, if you're feeling more activated and you can't sleep, go for a walk, do some push-ups, get some exercise, get into the physical body. The best way to get out of your mind is into the physical body. And then when we're looking at it from a protocol standpoint, when I've got guys who've never had optimal androgens before, I think the more frequent the administration can be, the better. Twice a week for cypionate and anthate works really well for a lot of guys, but if you've never had this surge before, I think sometimes it's better to start a bit more conservatively and increase the dose through titrating over time rather than just shooting straight for the moon. And then also maybe going for 3 injections a week. If guys want to do it daily, great, but a lot of guys don't want to do that. But I think 3 days a week rather than 2 days, starting a bit more conservative and then working up in small increments every 3 to 4 months, that's going to allow the subjective adjustment phase, which again, 6 to 12 months, but particularly the first few months, to be a lot more comfortable.